Guys, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage here in sunny hot Australia. Bit of cloudy situation this afternoon. I have a 2:15. We've got 25 amps outside, but as you can see, we are already absorbing at 55.2 volts. So not too much happening anymore. Very easy to fully charge the battery in summertime. Alright guys, in today's video we want to have a final look at all these vertical battery boxes here we have, and I want to share some of the functions and features and also flaws of these battery cases. Some of them are do-it-yourself, some of them are pre-built batteries, but I want to share what I have found testing and building these batteries. And as I have read in comments under my previous videos, quite a few of you guys have these batteries as well. So please share your experience with building them or having them. It's always good to get another opinion, you know. And also, if I forget something to mention, please leave this also in the comment section under this video here. I'm sure it will be an interesting discussion. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So let's do a very quick introduction round. If you're not familiar with these batteries, we've got the Gobel Power battery here. This is a pre-built battery. It's a 51.2 volts, 280 ampere hour lithium iron phosphate battery and comes with a 200 amp PACE BMS. This is the only box in the row which can be used either vertically or horizontally. That's why it has the display on the top. We then have the 51.2 volt, 230 ampere hour. This one comes as a pre-assembled battery directly from QSO and has also a 200 amp what it says here on the screen, BMS. We then have the EEL 51.2 volt, 280 to 304 ampere hour do-it-yourself battery box. So this do-it-yourself kit not only contains the battery box itself, it also comes with a BMS, display, all the cables, bus bars, all the accessories you need to build your battery. The only thing you need to add is your own batteries. And you can either mount prismatic cells from 280 to 304 ampere hours. And of course, as you have seen in the last videos, the Seplos Mason vertical do-it-yourself kit. Here the same, it comes with a box, the BMS, display, all the adapters, all cables, all connections, bus bars, everything you need to build up this battery. You just bring your own batteries. And here we have used the Gobel Power EVE LF280K Grade A++, whatever they're called, high-speed electric vehicle batteries. Well, they are actually pretty good and have a very high capacity. So starting from the bottom here with the wheels. I know I'm always joking about the wheels and making test drives here in the garage, but the wheels are where the battery is resting on. So they are actually quite important. These three batteries, they have these wheels where you can turn down this stand. It's like a rubber stand coming out, and then the battery sits on this rubber instead of the wheel itself. But the EEL battery and the Seplos battery, they have 4 mounting points for these wheels, which is far better than only a single mounting point for the QSO battery. As you may can see, this is already bent towards the position of the wheel, because I haven't turned down these rubber feet yet. And there's only one M8 bolt coming from the top holding these wheels to the battery case. So that's a bit of a weak design here with the QSO battery. And you have seen me wheeling these cases around here. And I'm always doing test drive and circles here in the garage, but this is for a reason. These wheels are very heavy to roll. Not really super great, and I always have the feeling that this case may tip over when they're all pointing in one direction. And I never ever had this feeling with a Gobel Power battery. These wheels are amazing. They are rock solid, sturdy. It's super easy to wheel around in all directions. Not very likely to tip over, even if I do that shaking. So best wheels so far has the Gobel Power battery. But I wouldn't mind these wheels either, because eventually you will turn down these stands and that's where the battery stands on. But here, from a pure operation and driving experience, Gobel Power. So let's have a look at the individual designs of these vertical batteries first. Obviously the design and look is a question of taste. I mean, QSO is pretty much the only one who has a bit of design features with black and white and this green stripe and the writing in yellow. Everything else is more like industrialized. Even the EEL battery and the Seplos battery next door here, they have like rounded corners, nicely shaped and everything. The Gobel Power battery here, on the other hand, pretty much keeps its industrial look. So it has this massive overhanging front plate here, so it can be mounted into a server rack as well. And from here, all these batteries are completely different. Communication ports, terminals on each side, display, and also a circuit breaker. While here the QSO battery has a front panel with a button and has the terminals and the communication ports here on the side in a bit of a recess. EEL battery comes very slick, just a display, 4 buttons, communication ports on one side, power terminals on the other side. And the Seplos battery as well, display, control buttons and some LEDs, and then all the rest, the power terminals and the communication ports, are on the back in this recess cutout corner. Google Power is using these M8 terminals, which come with these clip-on covers. They can swivel around depending on where your cable is coming from. QSO battery provides M8 terminals, no cover whatsoever. Some rubber over the tip for protection is not a bad idea. You know what I mean, right? EEL battery comes with M8 terminals as well, and they also provide a shroud for these terminals. And the Seplos box has these Fiotronics connectors, M8 terminals, and these covers fit anyway to provide access with a cable to your terminals. Google Power is the only manufacturer here which actually supplies the case with the circuit breaker. All the other batteries have either a fuse inside or, like the QSO battery, nothing. Yep, the QSO battery is the only one which has neither a fuse nor a circuit breaker. There's no protection at all, nothing, just the BMS, nothing else. So here, from a pure safety perspective, Google Power gets another point, providing us with a mechanical circuit breaker. And Google Power is also the only manufacturer here which supplies 2 terminals, 2 on the negative and 2 on the positive side, to parallel more of these batteries together. So, and I was asking myself, is having 2 battery terminals on each side, positive and negative, actually an advantage? Would you, if you have 2, 3, 4 or 5 of these battery boxes here in parallel, would you daisy chain them together? So connect all the negatives on one side and all the positives on the other side? Or would you rather connect all your individual batteries separately to a common busbar system? Well, this is totally up to you how you design your battery. And because the Google Power battery has its own circuit breaker, I would have no concern to daisy chain 4 or 5 of these batteries together in a big tower, using these double terminals, and have short links from one battery to another, instead of ending up with a whole mush of big cables connecting these batteries to a point somewhere. The Pace BMS and also the Tabaluga BMS come with an RS-232 port as well. So this is for programming the BMS with a computer program, and it is also beneficial if you have daisy chained these batteries together already with using both RS-485 connections for the internal communication. And you can just plug in the computer cable into this port and program this BMS individually without having to disconnect any cables. While here the EEL battery and also the Seplos battery, of course, they both have Seplos BMSs built in, and they only come with 1 CAN for your inverter and 2 RS-485 ports for the internal communication and also for the computer programming. So if you want to program one of these BMSs, you have to actually disconnect one of the ports, breaking the chain of communication, which could lead to a total system shutdown because the BMS loses connection to one of your batteries. And as a precaution, it may shut down your whole system. So the Seplos box and the EEL box come with a Seplos BMS, either version 2 or version 3 now, and they also provide Bluetooth access via an app to the BMS. The same does the QSO battery with its Tangaluma BMS. It has Bluetooth access, but QSO does not give out the password to change settings via the Bluetooth app. So this one is a read-only. With the Seplos BMSs, you've got full access and can also change all the settings and parameters. The Pace BMS does not support any Bluetooth, so the only access you have here is via the computer program. Sorry Google Power, but you're missing out this time. EEL battery and Seplos gets the point. Then before we open the cases here and have a look inside, I want to share a last thought about this Google Power battery here, because this is the only one which can be used vertically and also horizontally. So the big question is here, why would you choose a vertical battery box in the first place? So it looks like obviously you have some space issues and cannot fit a normal horizontal battery in this location, and you want to install a vertical battery and push this against the wall. I guess this is the main reason to use one of these batteries. So the question is here, how many batteries do you actually parallel? If you already have space issues and you choose one of these vertical batteries here, do you buy 4 or 5 of them and then parallel them, having sitting them next to each other against the wall? I have actually never seen such a design, because most of the people will then use a horizontal stackable battery design. And then the other question is, How do you secure them? I mean, even if you turn down these rubber feet, these elephant feet, you need to prevent these batteries from tipping over, right? There's no mechanical connection or anything with the Seplos do-it-yourself kit, and neither is there with the EEL battery. There's no mounting holes, so you have to come up with your own chain solution or something around these batteries and secure them against the wall. So Global Power and QSO are the only ones who thought about it. So Global Power provides these brackets here which you can extend, and then you can mount this bracket against the wall. They also come with these massive anchors here for our concrete walls. And the QSO battery has got these profiles welded to the back of the battery, and it comes with this very, very heavy wall mount. And it hooks in like this, so you can either use it to secure it against the wall when it sits on its feet, or you can even hang the QSO battery on the wall. And they also deliver 16 heavy-duty concrete anchors with this solution. So there we have all 4 batteries stripped down. Remove the lid. I had to lay this one flat here because there were 3 screws on the other side holding the lid. But well, as you can see, we can't see anything in this battery here. So in fact, the Global Power and the QSO battery are the only ones which come with a battery cover. See, that's the back side of the QSO battery, and it has this epoxy sheet glued into the back of the lid. So when you open the lid here, Global Power, everything is covered. Yeah. While all these batteries are totally exposed. So I don't understand why these two, which are do-it-yourself battery kits, why they don't come with a full sheet of epoxy which you can just push on top of all the terminals, right? They could have spent this 25 cents for a bit more safety, right? Shame on you, EEL battery and Seplos. Okay, so I've put the Global Power battery back in the vertical position, so we've got a better overview and better comparison. But first thing we can see, they all look very similar, right? They all have the cells lying flat on their side and have some sort of ducting or cable management running across the cells, which provides a neat and clean access to the battery terminals for the balancer cables. And we can also see that EEL is the only one who has provided flexible bus bars. Okay, this is a pre-built battery, comes with welded bus bars even. They have some sort of hump here in the middle, which allows for a bit of movement. But here the Global Power battery comes with solid tinned copper bus bars. And also the Seplos vertical battery do-it-yourself kit comes with solid aluminium bus bars. There you can see the fuse. This is inside the Global Power battery. So this one actually comes with a fuse and a circuit breaker. While the QSO battery here has nothing, neither fuse nor circuit breaker, no safety devices built in, nothing. The EEL battery has a 250 amp DC fuse here in the back, and obviously the Seplos do-it-yourself kit has a 400 amp fuse here at the top. So when I put the Seplos do-it-yourself box together in one of the last videos, someone actually left a comment under the video saying that he would have never thought that I would become a friend or a fan of compression because I was so into it to compress these cells together here. Well, it turns out I'm not a fan of compression. But with these vertical batteries and the cells being mounted flat on their side, I think compression is a must. Because you may remember the video where we talked about the gas bubbles inside these battery cells. And they only come out easily when you correctly compress these cells together. So EVE states this in the specification sheet of their battery cells. And they offer an option to compress the cells with 300 kilogram force. Yeah, it's an option. It's not a recommendation. It is not a must-have. It is an option. And apparently you will get twice the cycles out of the battery as without compression. Has anyone tried that to confirm? Anyway, having these batteries lying on the side here, a compression is a bit of a must if the batteries are new. And here in the Seplos do-it-yourself battery kit, we have the option to compress them. We've got 3 M8 screws here on this compression plate on each side. So we can really compress this plate and push these cells together. But then we also found out once we compress the cells, the whole compression plate actually bended. And a solution would be another rail in the middle where we can have 3 more screws for the compression plate to have a more even force from the top. Like here in the EEL battery do-it-yourself kit. Yeah, this one has a middle rail. But Yes, there is a compression plate, but there are no screws. There are only these tiny M-stick screws holding it down. There's one there, one in the middle and one on the side there. There's nothing you can screw it against and compress these cells together. But this case does not provide any compression at all. Nothing. Zero. Even worse, if we go one further and have a look at the pre-assembled QSO battery. Look at this. There's actually a gap between, which looks like a very good compression plate with very strong welding angles, some rails in the middle, but well, there's a gap. There's a gap between the top battery cell of about 6 or 7 millimeters, I would say, to this plate here. So there's no compression at all, nothing, zero, nada. Oh, someone made a short here, huh? Oh, who was that? So here again, we've got welded static bus bars with a bit of movement allowance, but no compression, nothing. Okay, and let's have a final look at the Gobel Power battery, pre-assembled battery as well. So we can see there's a proper compression plate here, which has 3 screws there. There's another 3 on this side. And again, there's nothing in the middle. And even Gobel Power claims that these batteries are compressed with 300 kilos force. So the correct compression as per the option EVE gives you, well, I don't know if this compression is enough to put these 300 kilos of force onto these batteries here. Well, we just don't know. Let me open the coffin of the Frankenstein battery. So just to let you know, in the horizontal Mason battery do-it-yourself kit, Seplos also provides an insulation tape which goes on the metal lid, but nothing in their horizontal box here so far. So, and here we are looking at the front of the Seplos Mason do-it-yourself box, and we can see the compression plate over here. 2 screws on each side and 3 more screws here, you can see them. 3 more screws here in the middle, because this battery has a middle rail going in between your battery rows, and the compression plate actually uses this middle rail as another mounting option to give an even compression force on your batteries. And I don't understand why none of the other batteries have this option. Yeah, Seplos do-it-yourself kit, compression plate yes, but no middle rail, so it's actually bended. The EEL battery box has this middle rail, but no compression plate. Nothing. Zero. Well, we are not talking about the pre-assembled QSO battery here with a 5 or 6 millimeter gap. And then here the pre-assembled Gobel Power battery has apparently the 300 kilograms of force. So as you can see, none of these battery boxes are 100% optimal in terms of compression. And here they managed somehow to get this huge, massive circuit breaker into this box. And here in the QSO battery, there's heaps of space for a circuit breaker. Heaps of that, or even for a fuse, but nothing. The EEL battery do-it-yourself kit, lots of space for a circuit breaker. Here as well, Seplos do-it-yourself kit, lots of space for a circuit breaker here. So my friends, as you have seen, there's not one ideal solution for all this. Well, nevertheless, I really like these do-it-yourself battery boxes. You're building your own battery. There's always some way of adjustment, and so like here we had a look at the base and didn't like that the batteries are sitting on this frame only. We didn't use these polycarbonate stripes at all, which they wanted us to put between the batteries. So I guess there's always a bit of consideration and healthy logic necessary if you build these batteries. Does it make sense what the manufacturer wants you to do here? Or could this be easily improved? So do it. It's a do-it-yourself battery. Yeah, and some of you have said that Gobel Power is actually selling this case here as a do-it-yourself box as well. Unfortunately, it is not on their website as such. So I will ask them if they can actually provide a proper do-it-yourself kit like EEL battery does or Seplos does. It would be very handy to have this case here as a pure do-it-yourself case. Well, until then, you need to get in contact with Gobel Power and ask specifically for a do-it-yourself kit, or if you can buy this case without anything, then you have to put your own BMS cabling and bus bars and everything in. But yeah, looking at all of them, I would say at the moment the GoBillPower battery has the most of the features, the best compression, comes with a circuit breaker as default, the best wheels, and the case is also versatile to be used as a vertical or horizontal battery, which none of the other batteries can do. So yeah, in the future I'm not sure if I will keep all these vertical batteries here or if I convert some of them into horizontal boxes. Maybe get some of the EEL horizontal do-it-yourself battery boxes now, because they are coming with a JK BMS. Yes, the new inverter JK BMS. As far as I'm aware, EEL Battery is the only manufacturer who is providing do-it-yourself boxes, including the new JK inverter BMS. No need to install an active balancer anymore, or put up with the shitty balancing technology the Seplos BMS provides, or even the Pace BMS in the GoBillPower battery. The balancing is not great with these big capacity cells. But GoBillPower provides a knee active balancer with all their pre-assembled battery boxes. So that's a great move. And then it doesn't matter anymore if the BMS has actually a total garbage balancer. The knee active balancer will sort it out. Okay guys, I think so far this rough or more and less detailed comparison about these vertical battery boxes, or battery boxes in general maybe. So it makes you aware of how the cells are compressed, if they're using flexible bus bars or static bus bars. Is there a breaker included or just a fuse, or maybe nothing at all? Bluetooth functionality, nothing, just computer. Double terminal, single terminal. Is that important for your battery and system design? Mounting options for these vertical batteries. How do you secure them against the wall? Alright, the boys and the girls who are watching, if I have forgotten anything, please leave your comments down below under the video. Share your experience with your do-it-yourself battery or your pre-assembled battery. What have you altered, what have you modified, what have you added to make it a better or the perfect box? As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support here. Not only to the people who are donating to the channel, but to everyone else as well for watching, liking, subscribing. So thank you very much. All this combined makes these videos possible. Who would have thought? Until the next video guys, when we do something very different. Or maybe not so much. Well, different to this stuff. Until then guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye. Thank you, Joe, for your beer donation. Geht mal raus damit. Esst doch mal draußen. Kenny, geh mal raus damit. Raus. Raus. Yeah, we are buying Save Our Life here. They are spending 50% of their profit for helping rescue dogs. These are both rescue dogs. And this stuff is actually not bad here. It says for a shiny, healthy coat. That's what I need. It's good. Pet food only. This product is intended as a dog treat only. It should not be served as a meal. Nah, this is all good. There is wheat, peanut butter, and oil in it. They're really good. They're really good. Kitty and Bonnie are saying thank you, Joe.